So Con is our guest speaker tonight. He's often sitting where you all are in the audience, lapping up the information that comes through from some of the awesome speakers. But I discovered Con has got a really good system in LinkedIn as well too. Well, I discovered it actually because we connected on LinkedIn, and Con said, would you be up for a phone call and have a quick chat? So I said, well, yes, why not? So we had a really good conversation while I was sitting in a cafe. I did get told to reduce the volume of my voice because I was becoming quite animated and excited as we were talking. So it was a good conversation, but it's also a really good example of some of what Con's going to teach tonight about the art of social selling as well too. And really, the result of it is here's Con here today coming to talk about one of his passions as well too, through a just a social media connection. So a bit of background about Con. He is well, actually is a qualified accountant. He told me not to tell you that, but he is. He's actually sort of he's got an interesting background there as well. But at the moment, he's working as the business development manager with MCG Quantity Surveys. So if you're on LinkedIn and you're connected to him, you will have seen, no doubt, some of the posts and things that he's put up there. So he's very active on the channel. He does really do what he teaches, and so all of the things he's going to talk about tonight, he is actively doing it, and you will see that in motion if you go into LinkedIn as well too. So he's also been a People's Choice winner in 2021 and 2022. You know how some people have awards that they won back in 1998 and 1999? These are sort of more current ones, so these are really relevant. So, just this year and last year. So tonight, he is a social media strategist. He does work with entrepreneurs and small businesses and people looking to become more effective, particularly in LinkedIn. That's his market that he really deals in, and really helps people to leverage their brand, get new connections and clients, and to increase their sales. And he does it all without sort of feeling like one of those sleazy people, which I'm sure that you get, that friend you. And then just after they friend you, they send you a message that says, buy my stuff or come and check out my stuff, that sort of thing there. So if they catch me on a bad day, they generally get an earful. And if they catch me on a good day, I just ignore them. So he's going to teach you a strategy that really does work. That is nothing like that at all. So let's put our together to the stage, Con Sotidis.
Thank you, Nick. What a great introduction. And just as a segue, what I do with those people is I block them, and I just don't want them in my life anymore at all. So when you connect with me, you do me a sales pitch straight off, you get blocked, and you're out of my life, and I don't need that. Okay, let's see if we can share the screen here and get started. Really appreciate that. Hopefully you can all see that. Nick, can you confirm that?
We are on the slide screen. If you do presenter mode.
Yeah, okay, let me just go into that. I'll just share the other one then. I just thought I did that one. Okay, so is that better now? Still the slides, or you can see?
No, that's exactly what it should be.
Magic. All right, thanks very much, Nick. The art of social selling. The most important thing here we're going to talk about today is we do not sell on social media. So let's put that up front and let's keep that in our mind. We're going to teach you here a few tricks and tips about how you use the platform to generate relationships, to create relationships, to generate conversations, and to move the conversations offline. So who am I? Nick gave a bit of a summary there. Con, Business Development Manager for MCG Quantity Surveyors. Just quickly, if you don't know what quantity surveyors do, we are the only ones that are authorised and legally qualified to do measures and metrics in relation to things like tax depreciation schedules, insurance replacement costs, construction cost estimations, construction plans, progress claims, and so forth. Anything involving construction and property, we can cover it. That's the plug for today. You won't get any more. Okay, let's have a look about social media. When I talk about social selling, and I apologise that the slide's not as clear, but I always like to put things in perspective. I like to see the bigger picture. And this is where we're at, guys. January 2022, 66% of our population in Australia are active social media users. And that's not surprising. We can see the rest of the world is very much in line with that. As we move across to that, let's talk about specifically about LinkedIn. We have 13 million potential users of LinkedIn in Australia. Now that is awesome. And we look at the breakup there between male and female, the bottom right-hand corner, you can see 46% female, 53% male. So we've got a good mix of LinkedIn users within the Australian landscape. The one that's important for me is the year-on-year change, the top right-hand corner there in green, 8.3 million in 1 year. So 8.3 million new users came onto the platform in Australia in 1 year, which is awesome. And 50% of the total population is reached by LinkedIn. So great statistics to remember, especially when there's an old saying with LinkedIn, the 99 and 1. 90% of people on LinkedIn are lurkers, readers, just scrollers. 9% are interactors. Only 1% create content. And what I'm going to hopefully teach you today is give you the confidence to create some content and to create that thought leadership that you want to create for yourself and your brand, so you can get out there and just get that connection happening and get those leads coming in. We will talk about LinkedIn in relation to what marketers think of it. They see it as the #1 platform for their brand. Now, if they see it as the #1 platform for their brand, doesn't mean that you as small business entrepreneurs should not also see it as the same way. And they understand that maybe LinkedIn is not where your tribe lives. But remember this, LinkedIn's got a variety of users. So you don't know who they don't know, and so you don't know who they know and who else they know. So it's great to utilize LinkedIn for your brand. It doesn't take a lot of work. You can do it in conjunction with your Facebook and your Instagram and everything else like that. So there we can see 74% of the respondents, a couple of years old, but still very valid, consider LinkedIn has the right platform to be on. So social selling. Social selling is a term that LinkedIn developed when they were looking to sell a few new products. So LinkedIn's got a couple of premium products. One is called Premium, the other one's called Sales Navigator, and the other one's called the Recruiter, which, as you can see from those words, they're targeted for the particular industries that they want to sell to. When they were looking at Sales Navigator, they were thinking, how are we going to position this? So they created what they call the term, the social selling. Most of us that do LinkedIn hate that term. We despise it, but it's a term that's stuck with us, and it's there because it's got that selling connotation. Like Nick rightly said, we don't sell on social platforms. Nick doesn't do it. I don't see any of you guys do it, and I don't do it. We create relationships and share content. When they developed this social selling, before we go there, I'll just talk about the bottom buyer. This is important too. So when we talk about social selling, it's important to have the bottom buyer in mind. So I'm sorry about it's all about he, but it should be he, she, but it's a bit of a graphic done by probably a male. Anyway, they are 61% of these people do extensive research before contacting the seller. We know that anyway. As business people, we know people check us out before they come to us. Now also the buyer, they are most likely to enter a sales process because they know what they want. They prefer the content. They want to see something from you. And they value quality content. But lastly, the buyer is willing to pay 30% more for superior buying experience. Again, I'm teaching you guys something you already know, but it's that know, like, and trust factor. People don't buy from companies, they buy from the person. Once they know, once they like, and once they trust you, the sale should be a lot more seamless and a lot easier than what it usually is. So let's go back to what I was saying. What is social selling? LinkedIn created these 4 pillars. Now, LinkedIn has got these 4 pillars to identify social selling for its own purposes. Now, within this, there is a lot of variables. So it's about creating a professional brand. They call that the rockstar profile. It's about connecting and finding the right people, engaging with insights, thought leadership, position yourself, and also then building strong relationships, interacting, conversing, connecting, and so forth. Now, I always am a simple person, so I take these things and I think to myself, no, I've got to make something simple. And I read a book once, and it said people remember things in 3s. And it's easy for them to remember and easy for them to digest and also to take away. So I created the 3 E's of social selling: embrace, engage, and educate. Something simple that you can remember, and something simple for me when I talk about social selling. And we'll guide you through this now as we go along. I'll guide you about for each one of those. So embrace, engage, educate basically brings those 4 pillars together in 3 distinct compartments to make it easier for you to remember and to adopt. So embracing is about opening up your eyes and exploring and taking advantage of the opportunity that's available to you. And by doing that, the first thing you want to do is create your LinkedIn profile. Now let's talk a bit about profile, and maybe you can have yours open on another screen than another screen on your mobile. But take a look at your profile, and let's take this. Let's dissect this piece by piece. And this is where people get to know you and like you. It's your profile. First things first is we need to have a banner. And what I've done there is put my banner of the company I work for and the Client Choice Awards winners we are. You'll notice I've got my website and I've got a contact number. When someone opens your profile, you'll make it easier for them as possible to be able to contact you. If they want to contact you ASAP, they know there's a web address, they've got a telephone, bang, it's done. The other thing you notice is I've got a nice, clear, crisp picture of myself above the shoulders. Now, because I am a B2B type of marketer, I've got a suit on and a jacket. As long as it's something nice, not something from the last wedding you went to, you've got a couple of roses in there, or maybe a hanky coming out. You know, something that's going to be nice, professional, that signifies who you are and what you do. Also, when you're doing your profile, make sure you always check it on your mobile phone. You'll see what I've done here is I've positioned that sort of MCG logo and that more to the right-hand side, because when you check my profile on your phone, that brand is not covered up by my picture. So if you create something in Canva as a banner, a LinkedIn banner, make sure you put it towards the right-hand side, because when you put it on your LinkedIn profile and you look at it on your mobile, you'll see your face, your picture probably overlaps that branding. You want to make sure your branding is clear no matter what platform you're on. And about 70 to 80% of people use mobile, the LinkedIn mobile app, to check LinkedIn on a regular basis. The other thing is now we come to your name. Now you must have your full name in there. Now you might see sometimes people have got emojis in there. Theoretically, according to the terms of use of LinkedIn's contract, you're not allowed to have emojis in there. Now some people have them, they get away with them. But according to the terms of use of LinkedIn, no emojis are allowed. Some people might have a computer, a tick, or something like that. Now, they probably got them, they got away with them. According to the rules, you're not supposed to have them. So I'm just telling you what I know about the rules. The most important part there is the one I've highlighted in yellow. That is the crux of everything about your profile. People don't care if you're a founder. People don't care if you're a director. People don't care if you're a leading salesman or business development manager. You notice I haven't got business development manager there at all. What you need to showcase there is how you add value, how you help. What value do you add to someone who's going to go to your profile? I can see your title. If you go down later on in your profile, there's the experience section. I can see your title as business development manager or executive director or founder. That's always available. They can always see that. I have one rule with LinkedIn. Never duplicate the space LinkedIn is giving to you with something you've already captured somewhere else. LinkedIn gives you this free space. Make the most of it. Capitalize on it. And in that vein, you see there I've also got the little microphone there, which I'll talk about soon. It's in the next slide. And that's, again, a bit of real estate that LinkedIn gives you we can take advantage of. So the key things about your profile, your heading. And remember this thing here in yellow, because that's going to be very important later on. Now, the little microphone there, that's where LinkedIn has allowed for people to pronounce the names. We have a variety of cultures and a lot of regions represented on LinkedIn. It allows them to be able to pronounce the name. Now, my name's pretty simple. People shouldn't struggle with it. So I've gone there and recorded a 30-second audio about who I am and what I do. So if you click on that on my profile, it says, hello, Sotidis here. I'm with MCG Quantity Surveyors. We'd love to talk to you more about what we do. Connect with me now. Bang. So use the real estate to showcase and tell a bit more about what you do. using that. Or now you can only do that via your mobile, not your desktop app. So you can only click on record that particular pronunciation via your mobile app, but you can access it mobile and desktop. Creator mode, which we probably don't have enough time to talk about today, is a mode that LinkedIn has developed to allow people that are creators to showcase a lot of their content. So what we've got here is, when you activate creator mode, you get access to identify 5 hashtags that you talk about. Why is that important? Because when you use those hashtags in your posts, your reach is longer and wider. Now, the other thing with creator mode, and again, like, we haven't got much time to talk about it today, is it gives you access to newsletters. So you can create your own newsletter on LinkedIn and send it out to your subscribers on LinkedIn, to your connections. And they can subscribe, or they don't have to subscribe. But the first time you create it, you can send it to all your connections, and they get the option to unsubscribe or subscribe. And the other thing you get with LinkedIn creator mode is you get LinkedIn Live. Now, LinkedIn Live, and my good friend Paul there, he knows all about video. Video is killing on LinkedIn. It's killing on every platform. Well done, Paul. Love what you said there. So you can get access to LinkedIn Live, go for it. Remember we talked about before those, I'll just go previously, just go back a bit, talked about that little area there, the helping property owners and all that, that little profile headline. Google loves LinkedIn, and it will index you on its platform based on what you've written there. So you should always Google your name. In fact, create a Google alert of your name, because you get to see if anyone's referring to or duplicating you. And I did an incognito Google search, and my profile comes up first. Most times your LinkedIn profile will come up first. And I think Nick and others have been in the game will agree that when you do a Google search, your LinkedIn profile and other, Facebook's and other things will come up first. And you certainly picked up those first 2 lines from my profile. That's how important those first couple of lines are in your profile. The About section. Now, the About section in your profile allows you to talk a little bit more about yourself. And this is where you can talk about what you do. There is a bit of a theory around this. You could put it in the third person, put it in the first person. The majority of people that I network with and talk to, and other LinkedIn coaches and trainers, believe you should always put in the first person. It's I help. I do this. I have achieved this. I've been successful in this. Yes, it's a bit of a brag fest. If you're not up to bragging about yourself, sorry, you're on the wrong platform. You need to showcase yourself and brag about what you've done, what you've achieved, and how you've succeeded. An opportunity again to re-emphasize your contact details. Now, on the mobile app, you'll see there what I've got you can actually now make those links active. So when you go to your mobile app, you can actually put in a link in your About section, and that will become an active link. Just a feature that's come out recently, where someone can just go to your About section and click on that link and go straight to your website or straight to your booking form, wherever you want to take them. But you've got to do it on your, again, it's one of these things, it's on the mobile app, you've got to go in your mobile app, create that link in your About section, and then that will appear on your desktop and your mobile app. I don't know why they do that. That's LinkedIn. A lot of things LinkedIn does, by the way, we never know why they do it. They just do it. They're a big beast and they don't tell us anything. I just finish off with the embrace. We'll stop, pause for any questions or comments that have come through, Nick. But featured section, this is a great section to use on your LinkedIn profile to feature something. So if you've done a webinar or if you've got some feedback, you've got a testimonial, create a bit of a Canva template out of it and put it up there. Feature it. Feature something you've done. So what I've done there is a bit of a video, and I've featured our award. Not too many, 2 or 3, but refresh them every now and again. It's good to showcase something you're proud of, but also something that others will see that identifies what you are able to do for them. This is the most important part of the whole. Apart from your profile headline, this is the most important part, recommendations. As you would have seen, in the whole of LinkedIn, it's us talking about ourselves. I've done this, I've done that, this is my role, this is my feature section. This is where we call this the social proof of every profile. It's the recommendations. This is where someone, pardon French, has put their backside on the line to recommend you. And they've said, yes, I trust this person, he or she has helped me, and this is how they've done it. You can see their LinkedIn name appears, and if this was live, their profile will be able to click and go onto it. And I have done this. I will click on a profile and I'll reach out to the person and say, hey, you said you recommended Nick because Nick did this for you. Tell me more about what Nick did for you. I'm looking to work with Nick. I'd like to know more about how he helped you. If they've been, rigid and they've given you a good recommendation, they should be able to talk about you to anyone. With recommendations, you can actually virtually write it for them when you ask for recommendation and tell them what you want them to focus on. Hey, Mary, we work together on this. Can you focus on how I helped you achieve X, Y, and Z? Good. So Mary just writes that. Hey, George, we work together on that. Can you focus on how I was able to develop a strategy for you to deliver this? So, George's able to write about that. Feed them what you want them to write about. They'll write it. You have a right to put it on your profile. Now, if you don't like it, you can reject it. It doesn't have to go on. You can ask for a review of it. So you go back to and say, hey, George, hey, Mary, can you just review or adjust this a bit for me, please? And then you're the one that clicks on it and puts it on your profile. I'll just pause there. Nick, is there any questions? We'll have a drink of water.
Yeah, there's a couple of questions here, Con. One is from Jody there, who's asking, should you use the same words on Google as you do on LinkedIn? So that must be in the profile, I guess. Is that right, Jody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I don't think there's any harm in doing that. I don't think there's any harm at all. I think it's really good because that way Google will be able to index you a lot more effectively. I think it's a good idea, Jody.
Actually, one thing I would say is in terms of things that are exactly the same is your address and contact details should be exactly the same as it is in Google My Business, on your website, everything. And that's really a Google thing so that they can find and connect everything up and see that it is in fact the same thing. So they use your address right down to a comma. So, so write it exactly the same across all of the profiles, and then you'll quickly, it gives you a better chance of getting sort of all of those things connected up onto the first page of Google for your name and business. What else have we got? We've got Fred is asking, should we use our profile or a business page on LinkedIn?
I've got a very firm view on this, and I know company or business pages are very popular on LinkedIn. But like I said in the beginning, people buy from people. Even if I go to a company page on LinkedIn, I'm assuming that's what Fred's referring to. I'll always go back to see who's behind their company page and go to their profile. I would like to know who I'm dealing with. A company is a company. Yes, there might be a couple of employees. You might have a couple of people in the company, but the most important thing for me is always going back to the profile. And I want to see what I'll call a rockstar profile in there to feel confident that I want to deal with an individual, to get to know them and to like them. And then when I have a conversation, I start getting to trust them. So I hope that answers Fred's question.
And I always think people do business with people, not with companies.
Correct.
And Paul's just asking, Fred's just asked NAP. I'm not quite sure what that stands for. It sounds like some acronym. Is that right, Fred?
Yeah, it's the term that's used in SEO for name, address, and phone number. It's exactly what you were talking about before.
Oh,
it's got to be exactly the same wherever you post it. Otherwise, you don't get any SEO juice.
Perfect. Excellent. Thanks for that. I didn't know it was called that, so thanks. And also we've got Paul said, you mentioned not using emojis. Is that just in the headline or right through the whole profile section?
Paul, that's just in your name. You know, it's Sotidis, just in your name, because that's where LinkedIn doesn't like it. Anywhere else, go for your life.
Right in that first paragraph sentence.
Yeah. So just in your name. In that first paragraph part, remember that's what gets indexed by Google.
Yeah.
So they're going to see an emoji, wouldn't know how to index the emoji, would it? So I would avoid it in the first paragraph, but in the about section, other places, yes, I would use them. Yeah. But in your name, it's legally not allowed by terms of use.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's what I've got. I've introduced them in the section below the about.
Magic. That's all good, mate.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Keep going. Right.
That's all we've got, the questions and answers. So over to you.
Okay, let's keep going. All right, so now on to engage. So we talked about exploring. Exploring is about looking at our profile and being confident that we've got a really good rockstar profile. And then engaging is going to be about how do we start connecting? How do we start sharing, commenting, and liking? So let's have a look at that. So one of the most important things, and again, you've all done this, is your ICP, your ideal client profile. If you haven't done one, it's always good to do one. So who's my ideal client? Could be by demographic, it could be by other aspects of who they might be. So do an ICP, an ideal client profile. What kind of roles they have, what kind of jobs they may have. They got a family, whatever. Start building that out. And when you start building it out, put that in your search box in LinkedIn. You can start looking at what kind of filters LinkedIn has and start to think about, okay, what would I do for my ideal client profile? So what I'm doing here is trying to teach you how to find the right people to connect with. Now, this is one way to search for people. Other ways to sort of identify them by groups you might know, or maybe someone will recommend you to someone, and look at their profile and see who else they may be connected to or know. But in order to engage effectively, it's ideal to identify the right people, and that is by doing a search for them on various filters that LinkedIn provides. That's a whole new session altogether on that. The other way is, these are some good tips. So find a common theme, industry, or common connection. All right. So, Nick knows so-and-so. I see Nick go, hey, Nick, you know George. Yeah. And mostly what I would do is I'll say, Nick, you know George, how well do you know George? Nick goes, oh, look, I know George very well. I spoke to him 2 weeks ago, blah, blah. Good. Hey, Nick, we're connected. Are you okay to do a bit of an intro to George for me? I think he might be someone I could do some business with, or if not business, just someone I'd like to connect with him because I'd like to see what he does and how he goes about his business. So that's another way to connect with someone, by talking to someone you already know, seeing who is in their network, and then connecting that way. Now, this is my strategy with connecting. This is a bit different. It's a bit of a wacky strategy, but it works for me. I go to this person's profile. I'll look at a few of their posts. I will like. I will comment. I don't connect with them. After a few interactions, I will hit follow, not connect. And we'll talk soon about the difference between a follow and a connect. I'll hit follow. That person hopefully will have seen me, either by their commenting, the interacting, or the follow. I'll wait a few days. 70 to 80% of the time, they will send me a connection request. If they don't, I then send them a connection request, a personalized one. Now, why is it important for them to send me a connection request? Call me weird, call me crazy, but this is what I believe in. If they're sending you a connection request, that means to me that they're eager to talk to you. They're eager to see what you're doing, because they've seen you on the platform, they've seen you comment, interact with them. They're sending you a connection request. Automatically, there's a conversation. If they're sending you a connection request, that means they're keen to know more about you and will have a conversation. Straight away, as soon as I get that connection request, it's a message. Thanks, Mary, for connecting with me. I really appreciate that. Are you available for a chat later on this week? There's social selling in what we might call on steroids. Bang, straight to a conversation. Now, some might say that's not appropriate. That's what's worked for me. And again, what I'm telling you here, guys, today is this is what's worked for me. You will hear a lot of other LinkedIn trainers and coaches as you go along have done other things. I'm not saying they're wrong. None of us are wrong, because LinkedIn is one of these test, retest, results, test, and results and test. So keep doing it differently and get some results. So that's what I do. I'll wait for a couple of days, wait for them to come back. If they don't come back, then I'll send them a personalized invitation request. An example. Hi, Simon. This is one I've sent out, all right? Not someone, but this is someone I've sent out. Been following you for a while now. Love all the inspirational copy tips you provide. I see you also connected to my mate Adam Houlihan. Love to connect and learn more about what you do. Thanks for clicking on. Nice to be part of your network, and we've since then connected and going to have a coffee catch up. All right, that's one example. Another example is when you go to a particular page, or this particular person put on a page about a networking event that was happening. All I did was like it. Straight away, he sent me a connection request. He said, this person's liking it. He went to my profile. So he looked at my profile. I saw my profile views. He looked at my profile. He sent me a connection request. He goes, one, this guy's liked my post. Two, he's in the same industry as I am. I'm going to connect. So this is where I've interacted, not sent an invite. He sent me a connection request. Just give you some examples of how this thing works. Now, Abdullah was a very unique one, this one. I do a lot of reading, a lot of research. And one of the things they said was, I've been reading a lot, and Paul, again, going to you at the core, what you're saying, video. I'm starting to do more video connection requests. I'm not sending out a connection request. I'm doing a video or an audio one. So when I want to connect with someone, so when I said to Abdullah, I use Loom. Who am I? Have a look at this Loom. And let me, but listen to, now I'm going to play this Loom. Listen to what I did. And let me know what you think I did straight away.
Abdullah, how are you, mate? Been following you on LinkedIn for a while now. Love the stuff you're doing. Congratulations on your
Does the sound coming through?
business. I really enjoy what you've been posting lately, and also noticing a lot of team bonding. Mate, I'm myself new, just joined MCG Quantity Surveyors, looking to connect with people like yourself, looking to see how we can add value to your business. Love to have a coffee, mate. Love to have lunch with you if you can. Be great. I'm in Melbourne. Let's catch up and let's do it. Talk to you soon, mate. Thanks.
What's one thing you noticed I did there?
You had his page displayed.
Yep, that's a good point, Fred. Yep. What about with the video? What did I do? What's the first thing I said?
G'day, mate.
No, I said his name.
Mm.
I said Abdullah.
Mm.
Research, I read this article that said the research shows that if someone hears their name first up, they jump up to attention. So as soon as I'm just here talking away, as soon as I say Nick will go, oh, he's mentioned my name. Okay? So when you're doing a video, and the other thing I didn't do there is I didn't want to say who I was, my name, because he already knows me. He's got my LinkedIn. He saw the LinkedIn invitation. He knows who I am. What would I have to say? Hey, it's Con here, mate. He knows. He goes, I know. Well, I've seen it. So video, straight off say their name. What Fred said there was really good. Show their page or show your incidentally show them their profile page. Talk about what you want to do. My call to action there was to have a coffee with him. He's since connected. He hasn't got back to me yet for a coffee, but I'll chase him up. We'll get one going. But he connected straight away as soon as he saw the video, because Loom tells you if someone's already seen your video. As soon as he saw the video, I got a connection request back from him. All right. Again, a few things you can do. A bit of a ride there in relation to getting some connections. The other thing I do in getting connections is, social listening triggers. And this is very, very important. Now, what are these? First one is a case study. So I knew Graham from a while ago, but we had sort of broken away. But I see Graham won an award for implementing LinkedIn Learning, but he also was going to speak at this conference. Been a long time since we spoke. I hope you're well. Mind you, I'm selling learning management systems at this stage. So these are high-end platforms. And Graham, I won't give you a surname, but you probably find him anyway. He was head of one of the biggest, he was the head of learning development for the biggest health insurance companies in Australia. Anyway, so I said, great to see you got that. Be good to catch up soon. Graham writes back, hey, Con, yes, long time no speak. Let me know when your doc lands. We'll catch up. I've got a new design manager. So by me being in his space at the right place at the right time, he's looking to acquire a new LMS. Yep, great to see you, mate. No problem, Graham. Love to show you. Ended up after a period of time, because learning management systems take a long time to sell. They're big systems and they cost a bit of money. We ended up getting a couple of $100,000 deal out of these guys by continuing to use social selling techniques, nurturing the relationship in their face, talking more about the product, sharing some content. Eventually they come along, did a demo, did a couple of demos after that, and we got the deal. The other thing you used to always look at how you can help others, and Nick does this very well, and you all do it very well, but I like the way Nick does it, is trying to find connections. And part of the networks that I go to, I'm always looking to see how I can help other people by the connections that I have. So I'm a member of a particular group, which is a members group. It's the ARI members group. And someone says they're looking recommendations for consultants who specialize in developing competency frameworks. Now, I've got a learning development background. I've got a very solid learning development background. I've got a good connection there. And I'm part of the ILP, I mean, Institute of Learning and Performance. And they've got a members hub. So the first thing I do is I take that, get a picture, and post it in this members hub to support the people that I know and I work with. I might not work with them now, but I have worked with them in the past. It's about supporting others. Because remember this, pay it forward, it'll come back to you. Trust me, it does. So I posted in there, and the Chief Operating Officer said, Con, as always, thanks for sharing your master of current opportunities. Again, it's about triggers. I saw something, I thought I'd help someone else. Profile views. Always check your profile views. The first thing you should do in the morning is look who's in the notification you got, and then see you've got profile views. Now, unfortunately, on a LinkedIn free plan, you can only see the last 3 profile views. I've got Sales Navigator. I can see as many as I want. But profile views are very, very important, because if someone's looking at your profile, they've either seen something you've written, they've seen something they like, or it might have been it's come up on their LinkedIn feed as someone they should connect with. But anyway, it's important. So what you do is then you have a look at the profile views. Now, the profile views have changed a bit recently, and they've got this view now. So you can see that what I like about now, the new view, it tells you on the right-hand side a call to action. So Scott, I know, and because I know him, I'm connected with him. It says, why don't you view Scott in Sales Navigator, because here's a potential opportunity for you. By going to Sales Navigator, you'll be able to track and monitor what he does a lot more effectively. Michael, first connection, he goes, well, you know what? Not a great opportunity for you, but you can always message him. Linda, you're not connected to Linda, but she looked at your profile, connect with her. So when I get these profile views, someone like Linda I'm not connected with, the first thing I will do is say, good morning, Linda. Thank you for looking at my profile. I really appreciate it. Was there something there that interests you? Is there something I can help you with? Otherwise, have a great day. Now, some might not respond. Some might say, yeah, Con, my friend of mine, or saw the article you posted, or saw something on LinkedIn that you posted, and I was really keen and interested. And I'll come back and say, so will you have a conversation? What was it? What did you like? Would you like to have a catch-up? Would you like to have a conversation? Always look at your profile views. They are a gold mine of opportunities there that some people do not exploit as much as they should. So it's another social trigger. And the other one, my favorite of all, I love reading articles, and especially when people win awards. So recently, the Top Commercial Brokers Awards came out, and these are some of the people that won. So what does Con do? Gets every single one, checks every single LinkedIn profile. And what I do is, I don't send them a connection request, I send them a message. I told you I don't send connection requests, I send a message. And this is the message. We wanted to congratulate you. Everyone loves to be congratulated, don't they? This is a great achievement. We at MCG Quantity Surveyors love working with winners. Winners are winners. And we've been working with other leading brokers to help champion, blah, blah, blah. Now, talk a bit about tax appreciation. I hit 10 brokers. I got 4 responses. Not bad. Not bad at all. 4 out of 10 for what? An hour's work of just trawling through the brokers list, finding their profiles, had a message created, copy and pasted it, send it out. It's again, listening to those social triggers that are out there, people in your industry, people that you want to work with, people like your target audience. They've won an award. They've been successful in something, whatever the case may be. Target them. Don't see, there's no selling there. There's no selling at all. Not be able to claim back. Recently, we released our newest research. I'd love to send you a latest. Again, I value add there. I love to send you a latest report. Always add value to your connections or to your messages. I've got a report. I've got an ebook I'd love to send to you. Can I send it to you? Ask for permission. I've got a video. Again, it's about adding value and making it about them, not about you. Okay, I'll stop there. Nick, any questions come through on that one?
No, that must have been 100% clear, because there's no questions at all.
How are we going for time, Nick? All right?
Yeah, we've got another about another 10 minutes or so.
Okay, good. All right. We're in the home stretch. So now this is where we got educate. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is where you position yourself as that thought leader, and then people would see you on the platform and they'll go to your profile and they'll want to connect. So there's 3 ways you can become a thought leader on the platform. An article, or has those of us that have been around for a while, known as blogs, a post, and a document. So an article is a blog. So you write something, it's a long form piece of writing. They do have a long life on LinkedIn, and they have a longer reach, but a longer life. So LinkedIn the algorithm of LinkedIn just kicks in and gives them a bit of a longer life. You'll see some of these ones. If I go back and check the stats on this one, I'll see it's probably still getting some traction somewhere out there. Not as much anymore. It's about 2 years old, but they do go for a lot longer. They're really good for long form of writing. If you're good in long form writing, really good to share something you've done or share a case study of some sort. They're really, really handy in that way. This one was about I Quit. It was about the great tsunami of the great resignation that was happening in the late to 2021, the great reshuffle, the great resignation. And because of what was I selling then? I was selling recruitment technology. So there you are. I was selling recruitment technology, and I wrote a post about the great tsunami. Why? Because if people are changing jobs, they're going to be applying. If they're going to be applying, they're going to need a platform. Platform, bang, think of com. Anyway, just like to make it a bit simple. LinkedIn posts are very, very good. Now, the thing with LinkedIn posts, this is my approach, all right? Never post anything without a text and without a picture or some sort of media. We all do this on all our platforms. What you want to do is you want to interrupt the pattern. It's called pattern interrupt, strangely. And by putting a picture, a video, it interrupts that scrolling pattern. LinkedIn rewards dwell time. As soon as someone stops and looks at your picture or video, and even more, clicks on that see more button, you are rewarded by LinkedIn, and LinkedIn says to the algorithm, hey, this post is good. People are sitting and watching this for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. Let's give it a bit more. So the aim is to put a picture, a video of some sort. The other thing you'll notice, you'll see all of my posts, if you go into my profile now, you can look at all my posts, I've got to see more. What I usually do is I write a headline, a bit of a clickbait, a bit of a headline. I leave 2 spaces, always leave 2 spaces. So the headlines, the first 2 lines, and then I leave 2 spaces. Why do I leave 2 spaces? So there's always a see more in every post. And by clicking on see more, I get that dwell time. And we'll talk later on, there's always 3 to 5 hashtags in every post. And hashtags are the way you target certain people's feeds, certain people's LinkedIn feed by the hashtag they may be following. So LinkedIn posts are good. 3,000 character limit nowadays for LinkedIn posts, so it allows you to write a bit longer than what you want, but never, in my opinion, guys, I don't want to see any posts coming from you guys who hasn't got a picture, a video, or some sort of document, because it interrupts that pattern. LinkedIn posts, just pure text ones, are very boring to a lot of people, no matter how good the content can be. Documents. They call these in the States, they call these carousels. We call them LinkedIn documents, they call it a carousel. Basically, you take a PDF document, could be an ebook you've got or a PDF that you've created, and just post it on there, and it allows you people to actually hit the arrow, go forward and read it page by page. The other good thing is there is this little one down the bottom, this square, they can actually click on that, get a full screen size and download the PDF. So it becomes a downloadable document for them they can take away. Very, very popular. They do very well on LinkedIn. They get a lot of reach, a lot of exposure on LinkedIn. And it's really good because people just quickly read a couple of pages of a PDF, and very, very handy. Again, a really good post to try out. Polls, they were the flavour of the month a couple of months ago. They've died out a bit. Maybe they've died out a bit for me because I don't follow them as much anymore. But I still recommend a poll. I recommend a poll at least once or twice a month. A couple of reasons. Polls are really good to use for lead generation. When you ask a leading question, you put some leading options there. Remember, as the poll author, you get to see what everyone votes. So I'm looking to do a course on social selling. Do you want to know about LinkedIn profiles? Do you want to know about connecting? Do you want to know about commenting and content? All of the above. So I've put them options. So whatever people vote on, I can see. So I'll say, hey, Michael, thanks for your vote. I noticed you voted on content. I have a short video on this I'd love to share with you. Interacting. Because you get to see what they're voting. And that's what's the beauty of it, is you get to see who's voting on what. What you do is also when you get results, it's good intelligence for you as to what your market wants from you. You're going to create a course on social selling. If more people want more content than on profiles, you say, okay, I want to create a course on focusing on the content, on the profile creation, not on content, whatever the case may be. They're really good intelligence gathering. They're really good to interact with people. They're really good to target individuals that might have voted, and you might be able to reach out to them and offer them an additional PDF or document or some sort of conversation. They're really good. And like I said, once or twice a month, a good strategy to use to gather some intelligence for yourself. Paul's favorite video. During lockdown, we were all locked down, and I had 1 hour walk a day. So I thought, why not use it to the best? So I did cons walk and talk. So I'd get out there, I'd walk, huff and puff, get the camera up and just talk about a particular topic. And they worked very well. They worked very well. Again, it's about the pattern interrupt. It's raw. It's not packaged. It's not edited. It's just me talking to the camera. Made a lot of mistakes. You don't care. You move on. I found during COVID, people were more accepting of the raw video, and probably now a lot more accepting of it than they were in the past. Whereas in the past, it had to be packaged and slick. Nowadays, you get your phone, you create a video, people accept it because of the content and what is the message can be conveyed. So yeah, videos work very, very well, especially when you're connecting, but also when you're publishing some content very, very well. And also these ones have got captions. So people, there was a stat I read a while ago, was about 70-80% of people watch video on LinkedIn with the sound off. That's why it's always good to have captions on. And see Paul's nodding, so Paul knows what I'm talking about. The stats aren't probably as accurate as probably Paul has it, but it's very high in that respect. People watch videos with the sound off, so caption your videos as much as possible. Now, people say to me, Con, you know what?
Just a note on that, Con.
Yes, Paul, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you off. Or
yeah.
It's horses for courses too. There's video and there's video, and it's what your message is and what your audience is at that particular moment that makes the difference.
True.
Yeah.
And your brand and all that. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Definitely right. Well done, Paul. Totally agree. So I was going to say here is about education. Sometimes people say to me, look, I don't know what to write. There's two ways you can create content on LinkedIn. That is, you create your own content or you curate content. Just like a curator in a museum who identifies appropriate pieces to show other people, you can go and find content online that you can read and put your perspective on. So I use a variety of sources. When it comes to some sales gurus, I use these two guys here, Daniel Disney and Justin Walsh, to the best I've seen on LinkedIn. LinkedIn newsletters, they're now very, very popular. There's one there by a guy called Chris Murray. If you're into sales, want to learn more about sales like I do, really good. And also one, Adam Houlihan, which most of you should know, is the link to LinkedIn to Success, based in Brisbane, Queensland. Very, very good in what he does. I highly recommend Adam to, if you're not following Adam Houlihan, local boy, really good in LinkedIn, does great work on LinkedIn. But my favorite of all is Right Relevance. One of the best sites I've ever come across. There's probably others out there, but with Right Relevance, you go in there, you type in a particular topic, it gives you the content, will give you the influences, you can customize it to location. So what I do there, I'll get my content from there, I read it, and then I post that content with my perspective. Always try to give your perspective and always see if you can actually say, hey, have I got this right? Now, what would you do differently? Or does that resonate with you? And that's what I'm trying to do more and more with my content. So you don't always have to create content. You can curate it. There's nothing wrong with it. As long as you give attribution and you give a perspective, people say, geez, this guy is finding some great content. He's sharing some great stuff with us. All I have to do is just go to Connie 9Os and give me some good content on X, Y, or Z. We talk about hashtags. Now, this is a little stat. You should always have a hashtag in your post. But also, it's good to know what are the key hashtags. This one is January 2002. So you can see the word entrepreneurship is very highly there. So there's 22 million people that follow the word entrepreneurship. So if you write something, a post, and you use that hashtag, potentially 22 million will see your post. Careers, 22 million. Branding, 18 million. What else would be relevant to us? Let's say lean startups. Investing, personal development. A lot of you guys are into personal development. Personal development, 14 million people follow that hashtag. So when you write a hashtag, you use personal development as a hashtag, potentially 14 million people will see that particular content. Hashtags are a great way of targeting the people who you want to see your content. It's a very much a grossly underused resource. And I got a quote here from my friend in the UK. He says, it's the biggest missed opportunity on LinkedIn. Hashtags are the most helpful to get your content into the feeds of people you're not connected to. Hashtags. I can't. And also what you can do is this, you'll see me on Social Selling Warrior. I've got a hashtag called Social Selling Warrior. Create your own personal hashtag. No one owns a hashtag. You can create one yourself. Use that. Why is it important to use that? One, it's about your brand. And two, you can go back and find your own content later on. It's a bit of an indexing system for your content. Someone says, hey, Con, you wrote something about this 2 weeks ago. So that's okay. Do a search on Social Selling Warrior hashtag. They'll all be there. You'll be able to find it. So create your own personal hashtag that you can carry along, whether on your Instagram, whether on your Facebook, or whether on your LinkedIn. It's good to have as your own personal brand awareness. A little bit about thought leadership. Alderman and LinkedIn do a study every year. I thought I'd share with you some insights. This is how important it is. 4 in 10 final decision makers say there is more thought leadership content than they can manage. But let's move on to say that they see it as critical to customer engagement, with over 70% of respondents indicating they consume it to keep up to date. If your content is of high quality, people will consume it to keep up to date. 60% say they thought leadership builds credibility. This is where you create a brand for yourself and you position yourself as the go-to person. So next time I'm looking for an animal whisperer, I go to Annie. I know because I've seen her. Next time I'm looking for a videographer, Paul, because I've seen his content, I've read his stuff, it resonates with me. 87% of buyers say that they thought leadership content can be both intellectually rigorous and fun. The moral of that one is have some fun in LinkedIn. Show some of your personal side. Talk about something you've achieved, but also add some personal emotion with it too. You know, it's okay to talk about a failure. It's okay to talk about how you learned a lesson. Create some personal perspective as part of your posting. And lastly, now is a great time to position yourself. We've got over 810 million users on LinkedIn. 810 million users. And LinkedIn is in its 19th year of being formed, and it's growing all the time. So now's a good time to start getting on there and creating some content. So how do we create viral content? Oh, sorry, just go back. How to create viral content? Well, there's a couple of things you can do with that in relation to viral content. It's about finding a story or challenge you overcame. Did you climb Mount Kilimanjaro? Did you beat cancer? Did you lose weight? Talk about a story or challenge you overcame. People will love those personal stories. Look at an industry trend or hot topic and give your perspective. Find a controversial topic or talking point and give your perspective. Look for trending hashtags or subjects, but always offer value and ask for thought, an opinion, or some conversation. When you're branding yourself, let people see who you are, not just a salesperson or someone who's trying to sell something. Like Nick said in the beginning when he introduced me, don't try to sell. Don't try to do a sales pitch. Let people see who you are. Write as yourself. I don't outsource my LinkedIn to anyone. I do all my own LinkedIn. People are amazed because only I can convey Con's tone. Only I can convey my message the way that I want to convey it. Not saying there's anything wrong with outsourcing it. Personally, I like doing it all myself. And lastly, when you're on LinkedIn, the most important thing is, these are the 2 words I want to leave with you today. Be present and be consistent. Present means interacting, commenting on a daily basis. Consistent means 3 to 5 posts a week of your own posts. But daily, you should be commenting, liking, emojis, likes, or whatever, commenting, sharing some content, some other people's content on a daily basis. Now, just quickly, we'll finish off. Those 4 pillars, because LinkedIn was trying to sell us something, they created a social selling index. And guess what? We've all got one. So if you take that link on over, it's easy just to copy linkedin.com sales.ssi. Everyone's got a LinkedIn social selling index. It was a premium feature. It no longer is a premium feature. What LinkedIn does, it rates you on those 4 pillars: your brand, you're connecting, you're engaging with insights, and building relationships. Anything, and this is going to be a bit of a shock to you now, anything over 75 is smashing it. What that means is, if you're over 75, your post will have 20% more reach on the platform. That's per Richard Vanderbloom, one of the guys who does a lot of LinkedIn research. So that's that link there. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully someone could put it in the chat if they haven't already. Yep, thank you very much, Nick. I really appreciate that. Anyone want to share theirs?
Yeah, I have 65.
Very good. That's good, Fred. It's good. You can try to get it to 70 if you can, because you'll get a bit more reach on your posts.
Yeah, I don't use LinkedIn as much as I should. So after this conversation, I'm certainly going to.
Yep, yeah, it's good. Anyone else?
Yeah, I got a 64. I'm one behind Fred, snapping at his heels. So I better do a bit of work this week.
Again, now I'm going to say one thing. Don't worry about your social selling index. It's just it's the only analytics LinkedIn gives us for free. It's the only thing that's available there to sort of measure our performance. It's nothing to be stressed about and nothing to worry about. As long as you see what it does there, it rates you on a number of those aspects. So by doing more research and more connection, you will find the right people. By sharing insights, by sharing some articles, sharing some content, you will start getting engaged with insights. And professional brand is that profile building I showed you in the beginning. See, even I'm not there. I'm only 22, 21.5. So I've got a bit of work to do too. Okay. There's a bit of a giveaway here. Prize is separate, but this is a bit of a giveaway. If you go to that particular link there, you get my LinkedIn profile on daily tips. It's only a 2-page document. It's pretty simple, really easy. Something you can keep by your desk. Now, when you click on that, you'll ask to provide your name and email. And I don't have a mailing list. You go on a mailing list, but I don't have a mailing list, so don't worry about it. I don't use it. So you'll go on a mailing list because I've got a day job at the moment. I'm not really stressed too much about this. So you'll go on a mailing list and you'll click on confirm. You'll get an email. Once you click on confirm, you'll get a link to download this particular document. So you'll go on there, you register. It will send you an email back, say, thank you very much from Con. You click on it and then you'll get the document. Anyone got any problems, get me on LinkedIn and I'm happy to help out. Like I said, it's just a simple checklist that you can have by your table or your desk in the morning. Just do a couple of daily things, a couple of weekly things, and a couple of things on a monthly basis. All right, that's the end, Nick.
Fantastic. Well, there's
yes,
packed into that.
Just made it.
Actually, we've got a couple of questions in here, so maybe we could run through these sort of quickly. What have we got? Should we link up with people who are potentially competitors? That was from Michael.
Okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I would. I wouldn't be liking their posts. What I would be doing, more importantly, I'd follow first. I'd follow first and see how it goes with the follow, because that way you get to see what they're posting. You don't have to like their post, but you can see what they're posting. It's always good to see what your competitors are doing from a posting perspective, what they're sharing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
I wouldn't connect, but I'd follow, and I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be liking their posts. I'd just be following them.
Yeah. Jenny's asking, are there good templates for case studies, or is it really a free form?
Case studies of what type? Sorry, what kind of case studies?
Good templates for case. Did you want to expand on that, Jen?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Catherine, Jen, yep.
Yep. So just because you mentioned doing up case studies, and I'm just wondering if there's a pro forma or a template to use that case studies normally follow in general.
There is one. I did find one a while ago. If you Google it, I don't remember where it was, but there's a case study template that I use. The kind of questions you can ask a particular client, and that they answer, that you create a case study out of it. I used it a while ago, but I haven't got the link handy, Jenny. So if you Google it, you find some templates out there.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
If I find it, I'll let you know. I'll get back onto the chat, to the Facebook group, and post a link.
All right, cool. Thanks.
And just while with Jenny, she asked another question as well. Do you think after COVID, people are generally more tolerant of blurring the lines between personal and professional? I ask because I've heard people say that it's not appropriate for LinkedIn.
My best ever post, which got over, I think got over 55,000 views, was one about my son. He's autistic, and how he managed to get his diploma in multimedia games and design. So I'll put it out there as someone who was proud about his achievement and about how we can overcome barriers, and how if we do try and persist, anyone can overcome any barrier. So I positioned it in that way, put a picture of my son. He went gangbusters, and I got requests and people looking at my profile from all over the world. So my responsibility, personal posts are great. Don't put too many, but try to make them a bit relevant to what you're doing in relation to overcoming barriers or success or some sort of leadership lessons, whatever the case may be.
All right, that's perfect. Thank you.
All right, Jody's asking, so use 5 hashtags that you've used before. So I think that's you're asking Jody that you keep using exactly the same 5 ones each time, yeah?
No, you don't use exactly the same. As long as you use 1 or 2 of those. I don't use the 5 all the time. They're the 5 that I'm known for, but I try to use 1 or 2 in every particular post.
Okay.
But when LinkedIn sees one of those 5 in my post, it will give it further reach.
All right.
Make sense, Jody? Yeah, so it's creator mode. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I think you could vary it a little bit if you have different products or services, or like a different conversation that you're having.
Correct.
Like I've just made a post in LinkedIn right now, and we're talking about video and marketing and stuff. So I didn't put my post in for funerals, my hashtag for funerals. But in another venue, I would hashtag video, live streaming.
Yeah, true. That's right. Exactly right.
A couple of other questions. These are 2 that are sort of reasonably related. One is, can you track who downloads documents? And the other one, which is related, is can you capture details of who downloads your PDF?
No, you can't. That one you can't capture who downloads it. Sadly, no, you can't. So it's out there. People can just download it. And you won't get any information. The only thing you get is your normal statistics, like views of the post, which is a normal post. The post analytics you'll get, but you don't get details of how many downloads. No.
All right. Captions on videos, does that happen on LinkedIn, or do you have to do that before you upload the video?
You do it before, so you might use AutoCap or CapWing or something like that. One of those are the ones that you talked about before, Nick, I think. So
yep.
Yeah, you do it beforehand, and you post it up there. LinkedIn does not like you leaving its platform, so you just create it outside and post a video. Some people will put a link to a YouTube video. LinkedIn, what we think and what we know about it is it doesn't like you leaving its platform. So it will allow you to post a link, but it won't give that post a lot of reach because it says you're going outside of my platform. I don't want to lose you. So it doesn't give that post as much reach. So always post the native video.
It penalises you.
Yeah. All those.
Definitely upload native video, native upload to LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's the same on all platforms.
That's the same, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you use Facebook or anything else, just upload.
No one likes losing you. No one likes losing you.
All right. Question here, how do you make a hashtag for LinkedIn?
Just sit there, easy, just put a hashtag, just call it whatever you want. So, Nick says, Paul video Paul. That's it. Just as long as the words.
As long as you got that.
Yeah. The words.
As long as you got the hash in front of it, then
yes.
it's a hashtag.
It's a hashtag. So as long as you got the hash, no one knows the hashtag. What you would do before you create your one, do a bit of a research and see if it's out there. And if someone else is using it, then just look for modification to create a bit of a modified version for yourself. Because, for example, someone was using a workout or something, and they used it, and then when they do a search, I found all these body workout videos when the workout was about, something else. So it's about just finding a hashtag that identifies what you want to be identified for.
And on the other hand, too, if you find the hashtag you wanted to use is used by somebody else in the same industry and they've got 45,000 trillion
Correct.
followers on that hashtag, well, use it, baby.
Exactly
Because
right.
they will see your content.
That's why I shared the slide about the most followed hashtags. I think it's important to know which ones they are so we can use them.
All right. Okay. I think, what do we got? Any ways to get email addresses from LinkedIn?
No, LinkedIn does not allow scraping of its platform. Unless someone's put that on the contact info, you can see it manually. I would never, ever, ever use an automation tool with LinkedIn. LinkedIn jail is a very high probability for anyone using any automation tools. What that means, things like, and I'll mention some of them, Lusher, or there's other ones out there. I think Lusher, there's Duck or something called Duck. I would not use automation. It gets you in big trouble with LinkedIn. They don't like it at all.
Yeah, they used to give you email addresses. You used to be able to download it years and years ago, but they stopped that practice, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly right.
You should be
And-
putting your email address in your contact info.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's about getting contact from other business people. But yeah, you don't go and harvest it to make a database from.
But what about My Most Trusted, Con? That's seemingly LinkedIn approved. You aware
Which
of
one
that?
is it? What's it called?
My Most Trusted.
I haven't used that one, Fred. My most trusted. Okay. Does that
Yep.
scrape LinkedIn? Does it scrape the
It
database?
doesn't actually scrape it. You got to make the connections, but once the person makes the connections, then you can get their info.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you've established a relationship.
Yeah, but
Well,
my
because-
understanding is it's been approved by LinkedIn.
Yeah. Okay. There you are. My most trusted. That's a good one. Thanks, Fred.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's probably
Nick.
about all we've got time for. If people do,
Lost you.
I think we've lost you, Nick.
We lost you, Nick. Oh. Anyway, if anyone wants to go find me, that's where I am. That's where I live. I'm there 24/7.
I assume LinkedIn's probably the.
We lost you, Nick. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, audio's going in and out, Nick.
Need to put another penny in the slot, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the internet's struggling a bit here at the moment. So, yeah. All right. Well, hopefully you can hear me now. Let's give Con a big virtual round of applause. Thank you very much for all of that information tonight. I know I've got heaps of work to do now. Actually, I did have a look at my profile and I was thinking, oh, actually, it's not too bad. But there are some areas there, obviously, to improve and tweak on it as well, too. So, yeah, sensational information, Con. That.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for the opportunity.
Now we do have a door prize for tonight as well, too, don't we? Do you want to just outline what that is?
Yes, it's a 1 hour one-on-one session via Zoom with myself, and we'll go through your LinkedIn profile, or we can talk about content creation. We can talk about anything you want that you want to focus on about your profile. So it's a 1 hour session with Con, usually valued around $200. So 1 hour, talk about anything LinkedIn related, whether it be content creation, your profile, connecting, reaching out, creating some messages for connecting, whatever you want to do. Just it's part of the prize.
Excellent. Anyone want that? Find that helpful? Excellent. Perfect. All right. Well, we've got our normal wheel of names to draw it. So all of your names are in the wheel of names. And today we've got a very colorful one as well. So I've been playing around with some of what you can do to customize it. So remember, you have to be here to win. So let's spin the wheel and see who our lucky winner is. Let's have a drum roll, please. And the lucky winner is
I'm not
Jenny. There you go.
Well,
Fantastic.
worthy winner. Well done, Jenny.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll connect you, Con, and Jenny, so tomorrow by email or probably LinkedIn's probably a good way to do it too, isn't it?
Yep.
And then you can organise that time together. All right, and we've got some tickets from Aldwyn as well. Are you still here, Aldwyn? Yes, there you
I
are.
am.
Just
Yes.
tell us, just remind us what it is.
Sure. We've got 2 tickets to the free Publicity Secrets Masterclass. It's on June 11 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is online, so you can hop on from anywhere in the world. It's intensive. If you want to get free publicity, I'll share over 20 years of media secrets and insider tips to help you get out there. So it's really great content. So
And,
2 tickets to that, and it's worth $197 each.
Fantastic. And what some of you may not know is Aldwyn actually does publicity for some very well-known names out there too that you would see in the media. So she's very good at what she does, and what she teaches is pretty awesome as well. So here we go. If anyone wants free media publicity, there are going to be 2 lucky winners here tonight.
Hey,
So
Nick,
bring in that drum roll. Yes.
Jodie's name isn't in there.
Whose name isn't?
Jodie
Mine.
Brooks.
Jody, is it not?
Yep.
Second draw.
All right, so there's Margaret. Is Margaret here? Oh, there she is, waving around there. Excellent. So we'll connect you up with Aldwyn tomorrow for those for that ticket. Right, whose name was not there? Jody, was it?
Jody.
Why was your name not there, eh? I bet that was me not copying and pasting this properly.
I can see a Jody up the top.
Is now.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's just been added in.
oh, right.
Shall we just shuffle it around so that there's no favoritism here? And let's draw it again.
That's a cute app.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah. What's it called? Wheelbarrow. Well,
Keep going, keep going. Nah. Missed it.
And Annie Burke. Are you still here, Annie? Yes, there you are. Have you been, Annie, to one of these workshops?
Yes, I have. So if Jodie, because she wasn't on the thing, would like to go instead, I'm happy to transfer the ticket to her.
Awesome. Excellent. Fantastic.
Thank you,
Well,
Annie.
My
That is
pleasure.
very generous of you, Annie. All right. Well, there we go. So Jody, piping up there to say that you were not there. There's just won you a ticket to Aldwyn's workshop, which for what you do would be absolutely awesome. All right. Well, there we go. That is our session of Business Owners Smashing It Online for this week. The replay will be up on YouTube tomorrow on the Smash Go YouTube channel. So we'll drop the link into chat. If you're not subscribed there, go and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Smash Go YouTube channel. And if you also click the bell, then you'll get a notification as soon as that video is available. And I'll be watching that one again because there was too much there for me to retain in this little head up here. The other thing too is for those of you that were here a couple of weeks ago and we talked about the 45-day challenge to generate an additional $100 a day in your business using some online tools and strategies where it's almost a set and forget. If you are interested in that, we are almost to the point where we're going to get the information out and launch that. There is a link in chat there for the wait list. If you click on that, just join the wait list and you'll see the information when that comes out as well too. And for those of you that think $100 a day is not very much, works out to be $36,500 a year. So it is reasonably substantial if you've got something automated and set up that that just runs. Every business here, I had a look at all your businesses, every business here could do that quite easily and quite simply. So go and drop your name on the wait list. All right, next thing is, yeah, we'll be back again next Tuesday, same time, same place, new speaker. And so hopefully you've implemented all of those ideas that Con has given you tonight, ready to go for the next stage and our speaker next week. So Con, thanks again for sharing your knowledge and your expertise tonight. Thanks everyone for showing up and being here tonight, and look forward to seeing you during the week and next week. Have a sensational
I'll put
night.
a post on LinkedIn in the chat. So if anyone would like to check that, and if you want to, I'm happy to accept connections.
Fantastic. Excellent. And anyone else that wants to connect on LinkedIn, that's a good thing to do as well. So thanks, Paul, for that reminder.